We await the bell for round 2. There it is. World Amateur Boxing Championship Challenge. Floyd Favors defending in the 119-pound weight limitation classification against Jesus Bull of Venezuela. First round, tough round, close round. I gave the edge to Jesus Bull. Remember, Bull is the young man who moved up from the flyweight classification. Favors has not fought him before. And Bull, slightly taller, beautifully trimmed body, very active in the ring, busy fighter. But Favors, a totally unafraid fighter. He's got stinging power in his left. And in his right, too, for that matter. Floyd Favors, one of the dominant American hopes for Olympic gold. That's a slip. Forget it. Pushed down, off balance by the opponent. And Mr. Han of Korea, the third man in the ring, handled it quickly and efficiently. So the action resumes. Favors looking better in this round. Each man knows how to use the ring. Each man proved that in the first round. See, Favors pouring in, scored there with a series of blows, combination, and very effectively. Better round so far for Favors, no question about it. Better than the first round. This is amateur boxing. 3 rounds, 3 minutes each. 5 judges scoring at ringside. Olympic manner, 20 points maximum per round. Crowd enjoying this fight. 2 busy fighters. Favors much more assured. We saw the suggestion of the right that he withdrew. He's being careful. He's ring-wise, this kid. Classy kid. See the difference in this round? Favors much more aggressive this round and beating Bull to the punch on most occasions. Bull handles himself well, sagely. Good right, then a left by Favors. He's scoring well. He moved into a southpaw style, a la Davy Armstrong in 1976 in Montreal, bewildering the opponent. The ability to do that is one of the great strategies to be employed, and you see it most frequently in amateur boxing. Floyd Favors having, in my view, an excellent round. I give him the edge. Round 3 bantamweight fight, and you're looking at the challenger, Jesus Bull of Venezuela. There's the bell. The defending champion, Floyd Favors of the USA. This is the World Amateur Boxing Championship Challenge, and we've got a great fight going. Typical amateur fight. I gave the first round to Bull. I gave the second round to Favors. So the judges will be key factors in this, the third and determining round. The judges are from these countries respectively: the United States, Italy, Canada, Philippine Islands, and Puerto Rico. Action. Steady. Favors really came on in the second round. Much more the aggressor, but aggression alone doesn't matter in amateur boxing scoring. It's the number of blows and the effectiveness of the blows, the cleanliness with which they land. And in Olympic boxing scoring, remember, a knockdown counts no more than any clean blow. You can recover from a knockdown and win, and it frequently happens in Olympic competition. And right now, Favors backed Jesus Bull off. Really, backed him off more than at any other point in the fight, and scored with a flurry of punches. Floyd Favors, a determined kid from the United States. The referee, Mr. Han of Korea. Both fighters are well aware that this is the round that will determine for them the outcome. A close fight all the way. Each fighter giving, each fighter taking. I told you Favors is a very tough kid with the physical stamina to go the 3 rounds. He's proved that consistently in his career. Jesus Poole, the man who used to fight as a flyweight. Favors never fought him before. Good score by Poole. A left and a right in combination, and it backed Favors up. Favors resting against the ropes. The fight is broken by referee Hahn. Note now, Favors resorts to American-style movement, using the ring, lateral movement. What the American Olympic team, that team that was a triumph of the human spirit in 1976 in Montreal, utilized so well. Sugar Ray Leonard could write a book about lateral movement. Look at Favors. He's got Poole against the ropes, and it was Favors then who did the scoring. So Favors fighting effectively in a tactical sense in this, the 3rd round. Earlier, Poole was dominating. Now it's Favors. Favors in a flurry at the end of the round here, the end of the fight. Floyd Favors seeking to defend successfully his world championship. And it's a close fight, but he appears on the way to doing it. Cautions by referee Hahn to both fighters. We're almost at the end of the fight. The bell rang 4 seconds too early. A mischance on the part of the timer. Maybe he was overeager. Maybe he got excited. Now, round 2. Slow motion. Watch Floyd Favors. This was when he started to come back in this fight after, in my judgment, Poole had won the 1st round. Covering well, forcing Poole to miss. And now we await the decision.
Winner by points from the blue corner, representing the United States, Floyd Favors.
There it is. Floyd Favors has successfully defended. A close fight, split decision, but Favors the winner, and the crowd loved it. Action in round 3 in slow motion. This was in the early going, and Poole dominating, but then Favors started to answer back. Floyd, first of all, congratulations, but that was some tough cookie, Jesus Poole.
Yeah, thank you. But he was a tough opponent. He was moving up from the 51 limit to 54, and I figured that I would probably be a lot stronger. But he's a strong fighter. He hurt me once in the fight, and it made me fight harder because I lost to a fella from his country by the name of Manuel Vilches in the Pan American Games, and it made me even more determined to beat him because he was from Venezuela. And when the going got tough in the 3rd round, I just pushed as hard as I could.
So, Favors' tough fight wins the decision, becomes a favorite for the Olympic gold as a result of the victory. Bout weight classification, 156-pound weight limitation. Shawn O'Sullivan of Canada, the defending world champion, the challenger Frank Tate of the United States. But Shawn O'Sullivan has had a health problem, and I discussed it with him earlier. What are you doing here, Shawn? You've been battling a heavy case of the flu.
Well, about 3 days ago we decided not to come, but I sort of thought that I could come and defend my title, and things got a little better looking in the way of health. I started to feel a little better, the sore throat and cold went away, and we decided this is the last minute to come.
Are you really in shape to fight a tough guy like Tate?
Well, I hope so. I've been training a long time now for this bout. I was in shape all the way through the training and sparring session we went, but this flu hit me and it kind of took me back a few steps, but I think I'll be all right by tonight, I hope.
Shawn O'Sullivan coming off that bout with the flu, and he's not the kind of kid to make excuses. A lot of guts, a lot of good movement. The pre-Olympic favorite to win the Olympic gold in this weight classification, Mr. Sumodio of the Philippines, is the 3rd man in the ring. You see him there. And the action begins. Frank Tate, a tough cookie. Tate not supposed to be the opponent. The World Cup man from Italy Romolo Casamonica was supposed to be the opponent, but he had to beg off. He is sick. So Tate comes in. Tate, a good boxer, not a big puncher. O'Sullivan trying to show his skills immediately, and they are many and varied. He is an excellent boxer. He is a good puncher. He is a busy fighter, has a lot of moves, likes to take command early, is excellent at adapting to the style of the opponent. But Tate proved himself on February 18th past in Reno when he upset the Cuban Orestes Solano. Tate, a very good medal prospect for the United States in the forthcoming games of the 23rd Olympiad. This is first round action, remember. Watch Tate. He's an excellent counterpuncher. He's got a good left jab. Not a power hitter. Not a knockout artist. But a good and troublesome boxer who is not easy to get to, as O'Sullivan will discover. But throughout the bout, without making excuses for O'Sullivan, we've got to be wary about him, about his stamina, because of that bout with the flu and the uncertainty as to whether or not he'd even appear for this match. First round, close up to this point. Very little to choose. Tate beginning to score well from the middle of this round on. O'Sullivan keeps coming at him, but Tate covers well. Good right and a good left by Tate. And another good right. And now he is beginning to dominate O'Sullivan. And O'Sullivan is backing off, unlike the way Shawn started. Look at that. Tate in charge now in this, the first round of this light middleweight bout. World Amateur Boxing Championship Challenge. This is the last major international boxing competition prior to the Summer Olympics. And the United States coming up with what appears to be a sparkling team. You hesitate to say they're as good as the remarkable team at Montreal, but who can tell? Certain it is, the U.S. will get its share of medals in the boxing competition at the Games. The bell for round two, light middleweight bout. Shawn O'Sullivan in the red trunks of Canada. The world champion defending, coming off the bout with the flu against Frank Tate of the United States. Substitute, a replacement for Romolo Casamonica, the World Cup man from Italy, who was sick. In the first round, I felt Tate from the middle of the round on dominated, cleanly won the first round. He is an excellent boxer. He is not an easy target to get to. The problem for O'Sullivan, among other things besides Tate, stamina, because of his weakened condition from the flu. O'Sullivan coming back now. O'Sullivan scoring well against Tate. This is the Shawn O'Sullivan we've grown accustomed to seeing. What a gutsy kid. You've got to give him all the credit in the world. He's taking charge of Tate now. Excellent round. Notice how Tate counterpunches. Very effective in that regard. Very clever fighter. Tate answering back now. This is why I love amateur boxing. The close surveillance of the fighters, the doctors at the ring, the immediacy with which the fighter is protected if he's being hurt, and action, action, action. Olympic-style boxing at its best. Tate scoring with a right to the chest. Much better round for O'Sullivan than the first round, but still the way Tate came back, I consider the round at issue. Third round should be a dilly if it goes that far. Oh, you saw that right by Tate. excellent. O'Sullivan had thrown his punch, and countering, Tate got in the good right. Now O'Sullivan has Tate against the ropes, and Tate fights off the ropes and gives it to O'Sullivan. This is the way you expect these kids to fight. And they are putting on some show. Shawn O'Sullivan against Frank Tate. The crowd is loving this fight. Tate scoring again. The issue certainly in doubt in this round. Right now, I'd score it maybe slightly in Tate's favor, maybe even. But Shawn O'Sullivan, I really respect and even admire that kid. What guts. Look at Shawn coming back, trying to score with the left, and Tate covering against the ropes. Okay, the end of the round. Mr. Somadillo of the Philippines sends the fighters to their corners, and look at that crowd. They are loving every second of it. You're looking at Frank Tate of the USA, light middleweight. In my book, leading Shawn O'Sullivan, the world champion. This is round 3. Mr. Somadillo of the Philippines, the third man in the ring. And this is the World Amateur Boxing Championship Challenge. And if Tate is doing nothing else as a replacement for the Italian fighter Casamonica, he is proving that he has medal-winning potential against the world champion O'Sullivan, who is fighting a game and gutsy fight, despite a bout with the flu that made it doubtful he would even participate in this competition. But O'Sullivan is a gamer, and this has been a busy, action-filled fight. Frank Tate looking to make the third round cleanly his and acquire the world championship. And he's starting off well, the aggressor. And you have to figure that O'Sullivan has tired at least someone. I like this kid, Tate. I like his ability to counterpunch. I like the fact that he covers so well with his fist, picks off so many blows, and I like the way he fights off the ropes, or can escape the ropes as he just did, with foot movement when you need it. He is a good fighter, Frank Tate. No question about it, a medal prospect for the games of the 23rd Olympiad in Los Angeles, now just a few months away. Actually, Dennis Milton is also in this division, and Tate's toughest job might be even making the American team. The American team being molded in the manner of, but not yet to be compared with, those fighters who represented the United States in Montreal. 5 gold, 1 silver, 1 bronze. What a triumph of the human spirit by that team. And somehow you get the feeling that the cagey Pat Nappy, the American coach... Oh, a good right by Tate. Staggered O'Sullivan. A good right by Tate. You get the feeling Nappy knows what he's building. Another American powerhouse team. Somadillo is all over the action. This is an excellent round for Frank Tate. He's kept the left steadily moving. It has been the dominant flow of the fight up until the right that staggered O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan, as I said, a gamer. But O'Sullivan now clearly winding down, weary. In my view, Frank Tate will win this fight and will win it convincingly. So it'll be another world championship for a fighter from the United States. Unexpectedly, in this case, Frank Tate, a replacement for Casamonica of Italy. There's the bell, hard to hear with the crowd and the protective headgear. Further deafening the fighters. Tate celebrating. He knows he's won. I'm sure he's won, and the crowd loves it. Story is right there, the right hand, as we look in slow motion at action from round 3. You could see Shawn O'Sullivan tiring right there.
Winning on points out of the blue corner,
such a sport. Another look at Tate, and in particular, the right. Used the left to set up O'Sullivan. There was the right that almost put O'Sullivan down. It was a good fight.
You came through beautifully. I must say, Frank, you won the first and third rounds. Third round, you completely dominated. You earned the victory.
Well, the first fight, I didn't box him. I think I overtrained myself. But this fight, I was mentally in shape. I was ready for him. The first round, I knew I had won. The second round, he came back, but I had to hustle the last round. The fight was good to me. You know, he hit me and I hit him back. But he can fight again. We 1-1 now.
You're 1-1 now, and you'll certainly face him in the Olympics. That you know.
I was sure facing him in the Olympics.
This gives you great confidence. Huh?
Yeah, this has been a year for me. I won the Golden Glove Nationals and the ABF National, now the World Amateur Championship. You know, now all I can do now is thank God for everything.
Now, in fairness to Shawn, he's been battling the flu. Did you sense him losing his strength in the final round?
Well, not really. You know, he was still coming, you know. He was showing tiredness, but, you know, I took advantage of that. I kept the jab in his face, even though I wasn't hitting him.
And used the right very effective.
Yeah. I was working on it, you know. He beat me the first time. He kept pressuring me. I got tired, but this fight, I said I had to go all the way. Take the championship home to Detroit City.
Good luck in the games.
Thank you.
So, a sterling performance by another middle prospect, Frank Tate. But Shawn O'Sullivan will be back. A great fight.
Well, that amateur